Here on Morning News today. Now, this is a discussion I've been waiting to have. There's been a pivotal shift in male grooming culture over the last decade and has fast become a phenomenon which is said to be on the rise in South Africa. We're joined this morning by local hair and beauty specialist Sonto Pui to chat about why it is on the rise and if there is still a stigma around it and what South African men actually love to have done to them. Well, Sonto, good morning.
Morning.
This is quite a discussion. I've been waiting for this one. So let's talk about South African men and taking care of themselves.
Yes.
Are we seeing what was once thought of as, I suppose, a rich man's thing to do, you know, sort of just not something that your rough and tumble guy would do? Are we seeing the change happening? What are we seeing?
Absolutely. I think we are receiving more and more requests of men asking, oh, my skin doesn't look good, what would you recommend? I think social media or the digital world has a lot to do with the influence, I think, and changing people's perceptions. I think maybe coming back from, like you said, for a decade we've seen this progression of men wanting to take care of themselves more and more, whereas I'm sure our mothers preferred a man that was manly, you know.
I like the calluses on the palms and, you know, the rough hands and stuff like that.
And it showed that, you know, that man works hard. But I think looking at, like, even the careers have changed, you know, we're more office-based. We want a man that looks good.
It's all about presentation,
right?
It's about the package.
Exactly. And we take care, I feel like women generally take care of themselves and they work really hard to look good, and men should do too, you know. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Do you think wives are having, or women or girlfriends or their partners or boyfriends, whoever it is, do you think that they are sort of playing a big role in this, or have men just decided, just by looking at images of, I don't know, James Bond or whoever it is out there, that...
So from what I've heard, we recently, like in November, during November month, we had men come in to our offices because we do lives, and we asked them why the beard, what's happening, and they say, this is from them, that it's the pressure that they're getting from the women.
To look,
to
clean up,
and to look a certain way. So they are basically stepping up. I'm sure there are others just out of their own, you know, just desire to want to look a certain way. But a lot of them are under pressure from their women to look.
Teach the dirt, Sonto. What are they doing? I mean, I've seen men even thread their eyebrows. I've seen that happen, you know, the threading of the eyebrows. So what are they doing? I mean, not just the normal buff and polish.
I think they're doing everything that we're doing. It's obviously nowhere close to what women are doing. They're taking body scrubs. They're doing, like you say, their eyebrows, and they're plucking them just to make sure they look a certain way. They're doing facials. They
waxing.
Yes. Have you seen them? They're waxing their legs and their arms.
And other bits we can't mention this morning. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, they are taking care of themselves and wanting to present themselves a certain way.
And products. I think my husband has more products on our bathroom counter than I do, because he's one of those who takes care of himself. He loves being pampered.
Yes. So, and there's actually nothing. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that per se. But I mean, I also don't feel like it should be to the extent of women.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think
we should take up more space than I do on the bathroom counter.
No.
Then we know you've got over the line.
Yes, I feel like it mustn't be too much. But I think it's nice to see a man that smells good and that looks good, that takes care of themselves. There's nothing wrong with that. But like you're right, with everything there is excess, and we just need to not do too much.
So where do we know that you've gone too far? When they start doing the makeup thing? When do we know that it's just too much?
I think I need to be careful about this. I think I need to be careful about this because it's a personal choice. But certainly for my husband, I would have a problem with him. Now we're sharing and fighting over makeup.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And whose nail polish is better?
And whose nail polish is better? I still feel like I'm going to make an example of my husband. He still needs to look like a man.
Yeah.
But it's nice that they need to take care of themselves. I mean, we had this discussion about we need to see more men with six-packs, right?
Yeah.
They need to go to gym, they need to eat well, because I feel like ladies, we already are we're trying to do that anyways. Yeah. And they need to come on board and do the same.
They need to do the same for themselves.
For themselves.
More than what we need.
Yeah, for themselves.
Okay, great.
But yeah, the trend is definitely growing, and you are finding more and more men doing things that 10, 20 years ago would have been considered
taboo or considered, like, what's wrong with you?
What's wrong
Why do you
with
need to have your nails done? You're a guy.
Yeah.
There's some men, the feet especially. The
Yes.
feet men need to get done. The feet definitely. Okay.
No hard.
So, and we've seen the sort of springing up of a lot of salons that cater for men, the pampering of men.
Absolutely.
It's not just exclusively, you have the women's one and then you have the one with the word man attached to it.
Absolutely. And I think it's nice that they have their own space, because I don't know if as a man you feel comfortable going into a woman's hair salon.
No.
So I think it's nice that they are being catered for, those who do want to take care of themselves, like you say, making sure that their nails are clean, getting their pedicures done in a nice, I would say, comfortable environment for them that's still kind of manly.
Well, I took my 7-year-old son 2 weeks ago, and I had him, polished and buffed and all of that, because I was taking so he's 7, but he knows that he must start taking care of himself. Okay, great.
Nice.
All right, so nothing to be ashamed of.
No.
Men's grooming is on the up and up. I mean, you can have sexy calluses on your hands. That's still okay. Thank you very much. That's local hair and beauty specialist Sontopui just chatting to us about the phenomenon which is on the rise. It's becoming the norm now. I won't even call it a phenomenon of male grooming. Well, that